Hi everyone, welcome back to David at Go To Hobbies. In my last video, I was talking about nailing some copper, and I thought, that went very well, and it will help you to soften your copper to make it more malleable to use. Right, how do we? This video is about making this stuff ready for your blanks to make your starting of your copper rings, and the end process is a nice ring out of it. This was polished, but it's obviously tarnished over a period of time. So get yourself a bit of copper wire, normal household copper wire. Buy it in a reel, or buy a couple of meters of it. Strip the copper out of it, and you're left with this stuff. This is the earth cable, so it's a little bit thinner than the live and the negative cable, which you strip out, and I'll show you a way to get that cable stripped off and the copper out of it. Now these, so you got, let's say you've got 6 foot of this, for example. So you measure and you match up the ends of it together, right? You bend it in half so you're equal lengths, and you got that like that. You grab yourself a pair of pliers. Let me just use these, excuse me for a minute. Right, yeah, just squeeze that together like that. Yep, and then you've got it squashed. Right, you put one end like this in a vise, and what you do, the other end, you put in the chuck of a drill, and what you do, you have it spinning clockwise, in other words, like you're putting a screw in. And the reason why you do this is because you want to do a steady turn. You can do it the opposite direction, always do it positive in the direction, in other words, clockwise. And so you've got a little tip. When you're doing this, do your chuck up properly. So when you got your chuck on the drill, do it up as tight as you can, because these have got a habit of popping out, I know. So you've got that in, yeah, and you've got the other end in a vise. So you're holding it. So let me get rid of that. Right, so you've got that in your drill, and you've got that in your vise, right, and you hold it. Pull it gently towards you. If you pull it too hard, it's just going to pull out your chuck. So you need to hold it and start the drill turning slowly. Don't do it too fast. And the reason why I say don't do it too fast, because it will run away with you, and then you're thinking to yourself, have I put too much of a turn in it or not enough? That is down to you, how tight you want those turns. You can have it loose, or you can have it very tight, or just what you think. For example, this here, as you can see it, see if I can focus on it. Yeah, right. Focus. Not very well focusing. Sorry about that. See, that's reasonably nicely spun. So that's what you're aiming for. Now, another little tip is, when you're making this, you want to infuse it with positive energy. And why am I saying that? Because materials pick up your vibration. So if you're in a sort of negative mood, you're going to infuse this thing with negativity. You might think I'm strange, but it's not, it's the fact. and you don't want that. You want to be positive in what you're making. So how do you do that? You just be positive and say, I infuse this copper with positive energies. That's basically all you do. Just think positive, love, passion, something nice, nice thoughts. That is all positive. So you're infusing it with positive energy. That's tip number 2. Right. Once you've got it spun up and, twisted to what you want, what you're happy with, there's no right or wrong. It's just a process of what you're happy with. Now, because as you're spinning it, that copper is going to get shorter and shorter and shorter. Not massively short. But how do you know when to stop? Like I showed you, when it gets to a point you think, I'm happy with that. There's another bit I can show you. See how it's gone? That's probably a little bit tighter than the last one. But you understand where I'm going with it? Yeah? So that was a little bit thicker copper. And this one here is a thinner piece. As you can see, it's a lot thinner. So you can use different thicknesses. The thicker the copper, the more it's going to take to spin it. But you also got to take time about it, and not doing it too slow, not doing it too fast, but what you feel comfortable doing it. So that's tip number 3. So once you don't have to annul the copper to do this, by the way, it can be spun without doing that. Another little tip is if you're doing it too tight, it seems to start knotting up on itself. In other words, trying to twist on itself. In other words, making like, you can imagine what a string would do if you twist it round and round and round. It will knot up on itself. That's what would happen to copper if you keep overdoing it. So you want to find a happy medium. So that's how you make your blankings for your rings or your bracelets, and you can twist it to the size you want. How do you know what size to make it, you ask? Right, what have you got in the house that is the ideal thing to twist the copper around? A baked bean tin? A mushy pea tin? See, the difference between a mushy pea and a baked bean tin is the diameter of crust. So someone that's got smaller hands needs a smaller bracelet or smaller ring, and the same with a bigger person with a bigger wrist. You use a baked bean tin. You get what I'm saying? So that will help you do this. Now, how do you know what length to use? I'm afraid that's going to be a bit of trial and error, because you can do it one of 2 ways. One, you can use a length of copper which is already twisted like I showed you here, yeah, and then you can cut it down once you've got your desired length, which is probably the best way for a beginner. And when you get confident at it, you can make them at certain lengths. The reason why I'm saying that is because you'll begin to realize that the size of the ring that the person's going to use to how much copper that will be used for it. And there's no hard or fast rules on making rings out of copper. It's your own handcrafted design. So I hope that helps you get started in copper ring making, because let me just twist that camera around a little bit because it's not very, see my ugly mate in the middle of the picture. So as I say, I hope that helps. So if I've messed up a few words, I'm a bit tired. I've had a long day, And last thing I want to remind you of, and that is how good copper is for pains in your body. I wear a copper bracelet which I actually made myself, and very easy to make, and I'll show you how to make one of these. But as I said, you need to nail the copper first, because that makes it soft. And then once it's soft and you manipulate it to the shape you want, yeah, what tends to happen, how do you know that copper won't stay soft? Because once it's been shaped and you start wearing it, you will adjust it, and eventually it will go back to its hardness at what it was originally like. That's how copper does what it does. I don't know what the technical term for it is, but that's how it works. Any questions? I think there would be. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. If you didn't like the video, or you did like the video, please give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I won't be offended either way, but I would be appreciated if you did say, you like the video. And the last thing is, would you please subscribe? Just hit the little bell icon up there and click on all, and then you'll be notified all the lovely videos that I'm producing in the near future. Right, on to the next one. See you in the next one. Take care. Thank you for visiting, and be good. Bye bye.